Hi there, my name is David Biffle. This is my presentation for what keeps people gambling. Why have casinos become so successful? These are some things I've learned as professional table games dealers for the past 5 years for a certain casino in Oklahoma. I hope you enjoy what I've learned. Why do people gamble? Betting your own money on any sort of thing, such as the Super Bowl, blackjack, or any kind of online poker, can be extremely thrilling. With online casinos becoming even more popular in the last few years, it has become easier than ever to gamble. But why do people do it? Why do people gamble? If you have ever gambled before, you know there is no guarantee that you will win or lose. Although most of the time it will end in a loss because the casino always has an advantage. For most people, gambling is enjoyable and harmless, but for some it is like being addicted to drugs and can be difficult for them to control themselves. A study published recently in the Journal of Gambling Studies showed that the more hands of poker someone plays, the higher chance that they'll walk away with smaller profits. They might win a lot of small battles, but they're losing the war. With that, people become more positively reinforced with each win and more vulnerable with their losses. After a losing bet, seeing a 7-7 bar pop up on your next spin can be demotivating. But in our brain, we see that as an almost a win. We continue to play thinking, I'm this close to getting my money back, which in turn keeps us playing, hoping the next spin will be the one. We see near losses as encouragement, and we're likely to keep going. Using an MRI, you can see certain parts of the brain that are active while a person is gambling. You can see that parts of the brain that become active when a person nearly wins are the same parts that are active when a person truly wins. So basically, in your brain, you see a near win as a victory, so you tend to keep going. There are cases of casinos pumping additional oxygen in through the air vents. This excess can keep players feeling more refreshed and wide awake while they are playing anything from slots to roulette. Keeping players wide awake is very important. If someone is too tired and decides to head home, this is a lost opportunity for the casino to make more money. The waitresses in casinos will always be coming around offering drinks or food to their customers. If a person is hungry, they will leave to get food. The longer they're eating is less time they could have been gambling. The free alcoholic drinks will impair many people's judgment. If I go all in, I'm sure to win. Hey, then I'll be back to even. If you've ever been to a real casino, I'm sure you've noticed the ugly patterns and shapes of the carpets they use in there. The truth is, it's no accident. The interior designer didn't have a horrible taste. They're there to shock your eyes so you can't peacefully stare and fall asleep, or to keep you from wandering off to get you back to playing. Have you ever noticed a clock or window inside of a casino besides the main entrances? That's because there isn't any. Casinos deliberately do not want their customers to know the time, so they will forget the time they needed to leave or responsibilities they needed to tend to. You lose sense of your internal clock seeing no outside sunlight. People tend to stay inside for days without even realizing it. The music casinos play may not seem like much, that it's just popular music to keep the players entertained, but that is not the case. Casinos use certain tracks of music that essentially keeps the customers in a sort of trance that aids with helping people lose track of time. This music is used to put the player in a state where all that matters is the game they're playing. Have you ever gone in and managed to convince yourself, alright, it's time to leave? Sounds easy, right? It would be, but casinos are designed to be kind of a labyrinth. They are confusing to find your way out of, so you could be ready to leave, but the process of finding your way out could easily get sucked back into a slot machine that looks interesting on the way. The way your money is converted in a casino is not back to cash when you win, but instead into chips or vouchers. This is to make you visit a cashier before you go if you want to get your money. The cashiers are never located near an entrance, but instead by the most popular games. With the long lines they can form, you may decide to sit and play a while when the lie dies down, but now you're just stuck. It's exactly what they wanted. The lights and noise that go on inside a casino are very important. Every slot machine has predetermined light courses used to entice people into coming to play them, to make them look interesting. Anytime a person wins a certain amount from a slot machine, it will trigger a bell that rings loudly, giving you the same sense of winning, encourages others to play so they can achieve the same feeling. Believe it or not, but at some point in time, some casinos actually use subliminal messaging on some of their machines. For a fraction of a second, the highest winning payout would flash on the screen, tricking people into thinking that they knew the big payout was coming. Thankfully, this is no longer the case as it's been outlawed. Casinos have become so successful because there is no bet in the casino that the player has an equal odd of winning in there, except for a 10 times odds bet in craps. This means that even though some people can win big and actually leave with money, the casino in the long run will always beat the majority of people and take in more money than it has lost. Some of your odds can be much better than others, such as taking odds on craps games, which are usually less than 1% house edge. Playing blackjack can vary between 20 to 2%, 20% being playing casually and 2% being with very strict card counting tactics. Playing roulette with the house always has an advantage of 5.26%. Other games such as Keno, slot machines, and horse racing should always be avoided, as this is where the casino brings in the majority of its cash flow. Keno's house edge is always around 29.5%. Slot machines range from 2 to 35%, and horse racing always being around 19%. In 2010, the revenue from casinos just in Nevada was around $10.4 billion. California, the second largest gambling state in total revenue, was almost $3 billion. This shows how successful casinos have become in the past couple of years, with their revenue actually increasing every single year. Being a professional table games dealer for the last 5 years, I have seen and even taken millions of dollars from people in my career. I want to advise you that you should always be careful when gambling, as it has destroyed many people's lives. It should never be done as a career, but solely just for fun. Never gamble with money you don't have or with someone else's money. Please be responsible when visiting any casino.